Hey everybody, it's Miss A, and I am here with a geometric concepts review video. The math test for this will be next Monday. I don't remember what date that is. Monday, tomorrow's the 9th, 10th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. So 12th. April 15th, it will be the test for this. All right, so what we need to know for the geometric concept test, this will be a short test, 10 questions, so it should be done fairly quickly. They will need to know how to construct and define perpendicular lines. Perpendicular lines are lines that cross and they create a right angle. All right, they need to be able to draw it and describe it or define it. They'll need to know parallel lines. Parallel lines are lines that are equidistant from each other and will never intersect. They need to know intersecting lines. Intersecting lines are lines that, well, that's not a bad example of intersecting lines. Intersecting lines are lines that cross each other and create obtuse angles and create two acute angles. So they are different distances from each other. They will have to know their triangle types. Triangles by name and recognition. So they will need to be able to recognize a right triangle and find it. They will need to know an equilateral triangle. So this is a right equilateral. They will need to know an isosceles triangle. So a right triangle has a right angle, a 90-degree angle. An equilateral triangle, all three legs and all three angles are equal, so they're the same length, the legs, and the angles on the inside are all the same. An isosceles triangle has two legs that are equal in length, and so these two angles would be equal. And then that's the isosceles, I-S-O-I-S-O-L-E-C-E-S. I don't think I spelled that right. Isosceles, equilateral, and they'll need to be able to recognize that. They need to be able to recognize if you have a shape, they need to recognize how many parallel lines are in the shape, how many perpendicular lines, and all the different angles. So for this particular shape, now it's a bad drawing, but this line and this line are parallel. And this line and this line are parallel. So this has two sets of parallel lines. All right. It has, let me see here. I don't have any perpendicular lines because I don't have any 90-degree angles, so I could tell that. And now I have to look at my angles. So this is obtuse, this is obtuse, this is obtuse, 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 obtuse. All my angles within this shape are obtuse. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 obtuse angles. Obtuse angles. So they have to be able to look at shapes and determine the angle types. They have to, let's do this. They have to be able to look in a shape and determine what type of angle. So I can determine that this is an acute angle because it's a small angle. I could see that this is an obtuse angle. This is a right angle. This is a right angle. And this is an acute angle. So they have to be able to look at a shape and determine what type of angles they are. They have to be able to determine lines of symmetry. So let's say I have this picture here. They have to pick pictures that would be symmetrical. It might be letters, it might be numbers, it might be pictures. So they have to find the pictures that are symmetrical. So here's an example of a symmetrical letter. If we were to split the letter Y, just like this, it would be symmetrical, all right? They need to be able to explain sorting of shapes. So if I have all right, so if I were to have these, I would say A, B, C, and D, and I needed to sort them, and they'll already be sorted for them. They have to justify the sorting. If I were to say group 1 is A and D, and group B, let's say group 2 is B and C, I could justify this by saying this is the group of triangles, and this is the group of non-triangles. You could sort it with angles, you can sort it with the number of sides, you can sort it with the shape type. So however you can justify sorting it, they will have to be able to draw lines of symmetry. So if I were to take this shape, I would have to be able to identify the lines of symmetry within the shape. So that's one line. That's a line of symmetry. All right, so we need to be able to do that. And they'll have to be able to, and we already said identifying their triangles. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. This is, again, a geometric concepts review for our test that is on April the 15th.